Well, the cost of food continues to rise. Every time you head to the grocery store, meat costs more, cereal costs even more, cat, dog food, you name it, requiring more of your money. Why is that? Could it all be tied back to your gas tank? Tonight, Ben has information you're not going to hear anywhere else in tonight's Reality Check.
Over the course of this year, food prices have risen sharply. According to the World Bank, the organization that loans money to developing nations, the global food price index was up 36% in March from levels in 2010. There are a number of reasons that food costs rise. The cost of energy in transporting food is on the rise. The U.S. dollar is weakened. Also, there's drought, flooding, all kinds of natural disasters can affect crops. But there is another reason for food prices rising here in North America and around the world. One that is not about disaster. It's about government subsidy and your gas tank. One word: biofuels. Wheat, which is a lesser-known biofuel, isn't becoming more costly simply as a result of natural disaster, but also because of its use as fuel. Another example, the rising corn prices. We are seeing the effects of ethanol production right here in the U.S. Few commodities have seen the kind of cost increase that corn has experienced. Global corn prices were up 74% in March of this year versus last year. Hundreds of thousands of acres that once grew corn for people and livestock now grow it to power our cars. Right now, Congress puts $6 billion of your taxpayer money into subsidizing the ethanol industry. So aside from paying for ethanol with subsidies, we are now paying additionally in the form of increased prices. Dr. Patrick Dixon, the chairman of Global Exchange Limited, says the biofuel experiment is already a failed one.
I'm just giving it as an example of how government action can subtly distort markets within the period of 18 months, cause global crises of various kinds, and then, after causing a global crisis, you find government action will change.
So here's the background. In 2007, the Energy Independence and Security Act was passed by Congress to mandate a mix of biofuels into gasoline. The blenders receive a tax credit of 45 cents per gallon of ethanol. Right now, 24%, or really 1/4 of the entire U.S. corn crop is going to ethanol production. So is there any upside to ethanol? Well, ethanol farmers will tell you yes, and so will a paper published at Iowa State. It shows that U.S. ethanol production, almost all from corn, has reduced gasoline prices at the pump 29 to 40 cents per gallon, depending on the region. That has saved the consumer money, but does that balance where ethanol is costing you money? Here are some areas where you are paying more. Cereals. Most processed cereal is made from corn, and these will be hit hard by price increases over the next year. Sweets. Most processed sweets, from soda to cookies to jam, they're all made with high fructose corn syrup. And then there's meat, beef, pork, and chicken. Almost all industrialized meats feed on corn, mainly because it was the cheapest feed available. And then there's cat and dog food. Pet foods contain grains in one of two ways. Processed dry food often contains corn as one of its primary ingredients. But issues of higher prices at the grocery store aside, there is an even bigger issue here.
You can be quite sure that there will be a huge rethink in the United States, it's already started, about that stupid biofuel decision.
So here's what you need to know. There is a major debate beginning over ethanol policy. It's a debate being held here among lawmakers in the U.S. and also across Europe. Ultimately, as the price of food continues to rise here and around the world, there is a very real concern. Large masses of people who depend on the majority of their daily income to pay for the same day's food. Can a rapidly growing world population afford to use food for fuel? Or must we use that food for food? That is Reality Check.